Well, welcome back to the Town's End, and here I am finally doing the next Factor meal review. I picked out one of the ones I'm sure I haven't done before. It's called blackened salmon. It is a keto-friendly meal with smoked Gouda, cauliflower grits, and broccoli on the side. It looks like the cauliflower grits are actually underneath the salmon, and then on the side is actually broccoli with some sort of sauce. I just heated it up. I will do a YouTube short video also before I actually upload this that has still photos of like the ingredients and stuff that aren't backwards so you can actually see them. But yeah, this is salmon, so it looks and smells pretty good. And it has only 10 net carbs total and 630 calories. And it has, sorry, I'm looking real quick to see. Oh yeah, 38 grams of protein. And most of that being from the fish. Maybe a little bit from the sauce and cauliflower, because there's definitely a cream or, milk base in there. But man, it looks good. It's very red. You'll see in the pictures that I post. It must be the sauce. It's not really blackened. I guess that's just the expression for how they cook it. But it is, yeah, because it still, pulls apart very easy like a perfectly cooked salmon would. See what I mean? The sauce on top is a little red. Not spicy. It's probably just like a mixture of paprika and something else. It's not really hot. It's just, a little flavor, but no burn. I'm just, right now I'm just mixing some of the cauliflower grits. Trying to get some on there so the bite has a little of both. Since they're apparently meant to be eaten together. Let's see. So far, I've been impressed with their ability to make things like grits out of things like cauliflower and do a much better job than any other food substitute type thing I've had before. I've had many things that were like meant to be like something else, but fail usually at making you even reminding you of what they're trying to imitate. That's good salmon. I was a little worried with the title blackened. I was like thinking it might have been a style, but a style of like I've seen some people call something Cajun style. And it's more, sometimes it comes across as an excuse. Like they overcooked the food and so they just called it Cajun style instead of admitting that they screwed up. This isn't really burnt at all. It's just perfectly done with the interesting reddish like seasoning on top. And the cauliflower grits, although they don't taste exactly like real grits, the texture, like the way they prepared it, texture reminds me a lot of it. And the flavor, it's more creamy because of whatever sauce they're using with it. So you can tell it's more of a like Alfredo flavor to the saucy part, and then the texture a little bit of grits, but not that typical like how grits can be both savory, buttery, and you can tell that they come from grain. Or it's okay is what I'm saying. It tastes good even though it's not identical to the real thing. It isn't bad, because a lot of those other ones that fail to imitate, they don't taste like anything on their own that would be good either. This is at least tasty regardless. I should take a break from that salmon and try some of the broccoli, which has like an orange sauce to it that they must, a little bit, I gotta stir up a little, because the sauces, when they add them on the vegetables, sometimes they just sort of leave a little blob. It's the right amount, but they leave it up to you to mix it up, spread it out, which is all right. By taste, what is this sauce? I'm trying to see if I can tell just by the flavor. Let me show you real quick. Focus. All right, see? I mixed it in a little bit. That orange stuff is like the sauce that they put in with the broccoli. Sorry, I'm having a little issue with the pollen lately, and the sudden change in weather made me a little more sensitive. But at least I can taste. Okay, now I can kind of tell. Whatever it is, I'll see if it's on the box that they've sauced the broccoli with. That is like a very hint of spice to that. It's not a lot, but it's definitely a little bit more than whatever they season the salmon with. I'm trying to see where it says anything about the side. I mean, they're kind of vague with the description. I mean, salmon, broccoli, cauliflower, cream cheese, pasteurized milk and cream, cheese cultures, salt. Okay. Onions, shredded smoked Gouda cheese. Maybe that's what's different. But where's the spice? There's salt, butter, blackened seasoning, here we go. Smoked paprika, salt, sea salt, paprika, black pepper, white pepper, granulated garlic, granulated onion, oregano. Oh, okay. So the stuff for the broccoli is probably the part that says has some cayenne pepper and garlic and jalapenos ground up. That's what it is. That's what's with the broccoli, giving it a little extra kick. Well, I mean, for those things that are in it, it's not actually very hot. It's just enough that I can tell. And honestly, I don't mind broccoli by itself, like steamed or otherwise. It's okay, but it does lack flavor when it's alone. So I appreciate it when you put things with it. Obviously, like when I was younger, one of my favorite things some people did when I had dinner with something like that would be just, you steam or boil broccoli and then they have a cheese sauce. But if you got nothing else, honestly, a pinch of salt and a little bit of butter melted onto freshly cooked broccoli is enough to make it delicious. But this is good. Complicated, which I would expect from 5-star chefs who will put these together, but tasty. They definitely make eating healthy meals more enjoyable. And I do take a day here and there where I choose to have like whatever I want, mainly because no diet, even a decent one with good tasting diet food in it, can last forever if there's still a few things you're depriving yourself of completely. I find it's easier to, as long as you have the ability to do so by not being so far along in health problems. It's good to have the ability to have a cheat day or even just a cheat meal every so often. Thankfully, doing keto is not too difficult, even if I don't eat factory meals all the time. But when I run out, or if I run out early or whatever, it isn't impossible. It's one of the easier ones because it's basically easy. There's so many diets that require so much extra work, journaling, counting points, doing freaking math is the last thing you want to do when you're already kind of trying to do something good for yourself and you got a busy schedule. I know when I come home, I'm tired, especially I'm adjusting to day shift. I don't want to come home and have to sit down and do some math homework when I figure out what I'm allowed to eat. It's much easier if I know what I need to do to maintain ketosis and when I'm taking a break from it and how to transition back to it. So much easier because the concept is very basic. I ate like that sometimes when I was younger anyways and didn't have money to have multiple course meals. Well, I would make a choice, and obviously If I had to choose between an entree with protein that I really like, or a pile of vegetables, or a salad, I'm usually going to pick the protein. And now that means with a little bit of fat is okay too, because we're trying to train our bodies to choose to burn things like fat before, before other things like carbs. But this is good and easier. Also, more affordable than many of those other so-called successful diet plans with meals and stuff on that you see out there, like Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or whatever. Those are a lot more work and either the same or more expensive, have less options. These guys have options for multiple types of diets too on their website. So I was looking into trying the keto diet anyways for my health. Before I came onto this from a coworker who showed me, and a friend who showed me about factor meals and how, because I assumed, like most people do that hear about it and don't really look into it, that it's probably just not affordable and it's just, or it's going to be as crappy as those other people that make meals like that. But I went online, I saw the different size packages you can order. You can pause at any time. You don't have to have, you don't have to have like the biggest one. But I only get the one with 6 meals in it, and occasionally there was 1 or 2 boxes where to review them and to try them out, I did some of the shakes that were keto friendly too. But you don't have to do that. And the one I'm doing keeps it cheap. And then I cook meals that are keto friendly in between. And if you look, most places have restaurants that serve keto friendly meals. Even if it's not intentional, there's some out there. There's some Muya restaurant nearby that I think a couple weeks ago I did a DoorDash or something, and I was amazed. They have a menu where they use iceberg lettuce, as their buns for their big like cheeseburgers. So it was like a bacon cheeseburger with avocado slices in it. And instead of a bun, you had basically what turned out to be like half a head of iceberg lettuce, which honestly, I don't mind it. And it's the better lettuce for using it as, a bun. The leaves keep their shape better than some other lettuce. Romaine, not so good for big cheeseburgers and meals like that, but I have used romaine leaves, big ones, for like instead of bread for normal like meat, cheese, vegetable, or mayo, a little bit of mayo, mustard, like a normal sandwich. But instead of a normal slice of bread on each side, you use folded in half a large romaine leaf. Works good. But a lot of the other ones don't work very well for that. The ones with smaller leaves, and they might be good for you, but they can't really do the job that was bread's. This is very good. A little bit fishy, but in the best possible way. Like, this tastes too good to be good for you. Someone must be up to something. But they're not. That is a modest meal to have so much protein in it, I mean, it's a good size, good enough. But it is just still floors me that there's 38 grams of protein in that one good chunk fillet there. The other nutritional values are impressive too. There's 80% of your vitamin D. I should have known that because one of the animals to have some of that naturally would be the fish. Not much sodium. I mean, cholesterol is low. No trans fats. That's great. Like I said, you can see this for yourself in detail in the short I post before I actually upload this video. Now, if you found that entertaining or informative or both at all, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribe if you haven't already. And please share it with people that you know who might be considering considering doing a keto diet and who maybe lead very busy lives, or they're a bachelor like me, permanent bachelor. So we like to find ways to save time, especially when it comes to meal prep or shopping. This does both. And with prices going through the roof right now for both gas, fuel, and it's affecting produce prices, it is no longer true that this is more expensive than groceries. Buying groceries and making the same things myself, or attempting to, would be actually more expensive because of I'd be spending maybe close to the same or slightly more money, but also I'd be spending the time it takes to go do it, the gas to go there and back, and I also, like I said, I like to use my time for other things, like making really amateur videos reviewing meals like this or other goofy content later on. But anyway, thanks for watching, and please let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you next time down here at the Town Zen.